Welcome back. Now, our entrepreneur this week is into fish farming. This is a subject we've discussed before. Now, we're trying to find out how different this businessman is doing fish farming.
My name is Ali Chiaga. Yeah, I did fisheries and aquaculture. We've been sampling. Actually, before we sampled, the texture was good, water source was there. Only the challenge we had is that we expect some overflows during rain seasons. So we are trying tooth and nail so that we can broker that, because it cannot obstruct us to do fish farming. So far, according to what we have observed, we stocked our fish 3 months back. It was 3 grams, but to our observation, our production is moving well. We shall be successful. Each fish, each pond, we stocked 3,000 tilapia ON, single sex. But the challenge we had is that since we have the overflow, we experience overflow, we got some zeolites which intervene in our pond. Now we are trying to eliminate them by getting some catfish, which are trying to reduce the number, because we estimated 3,000 pieces in our pond. The type of the fish we have here, we have tilapia ON, that is Ogronucleus. In its botanical name it's like that. Then we have catfish, African catfish. So far, as we are here, we have 3 ponds with 1 reserve tank. So one for Nile patch, it is bigger, it's a bit bigger. But this one, they are standards. Since we say that we started substantially, we are diving into commercially. So far, we are breeding catfish at our farm. So far, that's the program we have here. We may also set that hatchery, both for catfish and tilapia, because when you look at the environment, people are looking for catfish and tilapia, but for our capacity, we cannot supply the whole Uganda. So we need to extend this idea to other farmers so that they can also do the same activity. So far, in fish farming, we have a problem of fishing. But fishing, that problem rises when you don't prepare your pond. This is what we call pond preparation. When you do pond preparation, under pond preparation we have the microscopic living organisms. We call them zooplanktons and phytoplanktons. When you put them in the pond, we may reserve even a week without feeding. In other countries, they may even take a month when they want to attain that protein content in its body. So when you put there these fry booster, which are formed here, you may divert their brains and they go to that fry booster instead of taking that planktons. So in feeding, we have 2 types of feeding. We have the pond preparation, as we are preparing zooplanktons and phytoplanktons, and we have that formed food, the fry booster. So we give them fry booster for 3 months. Now so far we are going to move to another step of feeding, which is 2 millimeters. Now in type of excavation, when you do pond in excavation, it depends on the verification. So you need to first apply an expert, because there are swampy construction ponds which doesn't need much deep. You have to build to do what we call soil embankment up, in that you may to avoid the other abrupt flooding in the ponds. So the depth which is recommended should be 1 meter. Start, it is to be 4 feet. The end, it is to be 1 meter. Depending on what is in Uganda, the market for fish is there, but the supply is not there. People are taking fish of 300 grams. 300 grams, the thing may approach even your palm. 300 grams. But people, we don't have that fish. Yet the government blocks what we call getting fish in what? In the lakes. They regard them as premature fish. Prospectively, we are expecting to have more ponds, like 20 here. we want to drive to commercial fish farming. Okay, we started with substantial, a bit commercial, but we are next year we are expecting to have to drive up to commercial fish farming. Now, so far, we are working hand in hand with our client. We are expecting this farm, Amicus, to be a competitive demonstration fish farm in Africa. And actually, we are calling upon people who are willing to learn how to do fish farming and other ventures, because you have so many things here, like a goat, you have poultry.
Human resource gurus tell us that an organization's performance and value is at times as good as the value of its employees. Today, we try to look at how you can motivate your employees to deliver that much value that every organization actually needs to succeed.
As a business leader, all you need to do is embrace vulnerability. Give your wholehearted self out there and see what the results will be. However, there's also power in asking the right questions. So be the dumbest in the room, let your team give you the answers, and you'll be excited and surprised and amazed by the quality of the answers that you will get. Thank you.
Technology has touched many areas of life, and of course professional lives as well. Today, in the world of science, there are innovations that have been made, and among those innovations, of course, we're looking at the electronic microscope, away from, of course, the traditional microscopes that many of us might be used to from the schools where we went. Now, how it works and how much value it's going to add to the world of research in this country is the focus of this segment today.
When the Preside was established, we were told that the President had been given 37 billion shillings just to buy equipment quickly in order to address the issue of COVID-19. Now, this is one of the projects that Makerere put in to acquire this equipment. As Professor Kirabira has said, this equipment is not cheap. $800,000, just one equipment, is a very big investment for a country like Uganda. And it is just one of 4 such equipment on the African continent. I'm told 2 of them are in South Africa and another one in Ghana. So we have the 4th one. What that means, the principal saying we can do a few things. We can actually do a million things with this equipment. All researchers who are researching in all those areas that they both have talked about now have no reason why they have to be limited by equipment. They don't have to travel anywhere. We used to send samples to Europe when it came to the need to use electronic microscopes and paying a lot of money. Now it will not be necessary. Of course, I don't know how we have worked out the protocols yet. You must maintain the equipment. So maybe there will be a charge for the use of the machine from the projects that will be using it. Since the establishment of Preside, our labs have been modernized in a very big way. Of course, I agree with the principle that we need actually to invest more and to modernize all the equipment in all our labs if we are really to be competitive. So I want to thank Dr. Monica Musenero very much. And I know that she has pledged that she's going to do even more. She wants to invest in more. She just wants to see us utilizing the equipment that has been bought. I have no doubt that the equipment will be put to good use. The principal investigator has already told me that there are already PhD students who have been trained on the use of the equipment, and there are those who are already lined up to use the equipment. And I'm very sure that there are going to be a lot of researchers from around the university coming to use it. It takes a very serious researcher to think about the need of bringing such equipment, and even to think that it will be possible. A few years ago, we couldn't even dream that we would ever have an electronic microscope. It was a dream, but now here it is. So, first of all, bringing the Macronano was a big thing for us. Bringing the World Bank Center of Excellence here, and the investments that have been put there. Now, I think this is a very huge boost to Macronano, and I think you need to inform the World Bank about this. They are aware. So it is a very huge boost, but that also means everybody will know that we have the capacity to utilize very complicated equipment.
So for nanotechnology research, this means one no longer needs to travel like you have mentioned. You don't need to go very far, we just need to find room within what we already have in the machine that we have acquired. This equipment is therefore a big breakthrough for not only SEDAT, but the whole country. It is a central facility that will be used by many partners, like you have mentioned. We expect many products analyzed and processed using this equipment, plus many more new innovations. We therefore challenge SEDAT Macronano to think big and come up with many innovations using that equipment. So that's our challenge we leave with you. We also come up with guidelines, I think they call them protocols, of how this equipment will be accessed and utilized by other partners. The question we have there is, will you levy a fee for use? It's something to think about, because like you've already heard, it is an expensive equipment and it needs to be maintained. I think one of our challenges as a country is maintenance.
Now, with that, we've come to the end of this edition of Man and Market. Thank you for being part of the show. We'd like to keep the conversation going and engagement on. Please drop us a line on the address on your screen. Let's get this going. Until next time, from me and Tim, good evening.